Okay, PFFs, it's time to set up your account. So grab your phone and let's get going.
Three queens resell, let me set the scene. We hustle hard, stacking green, living out the dream. From clothes to kicks, we got that vintage flair. You name it, we got it. All the styles you wanna wear. Started small,
Hey
now we.
friends, if you're new here, I'm Stephanie with Three Queens Resell, and I have been reselling for 7 years now, 4 years full time. And before I was a full time reseller, I was a full time teacher for 23 years. So I figured since it was August and back to school time, and I'm kind of missing teaching, I would teach my new PFFs how to get started, or my reseller besties, how to get started reselling and turning their clothes into cash. We all need a side hustle because ground beef is like $12 a pound. So let's get into it, and we're going to start with setting up our account. So this is editing Stephanie, and we are going to create a listing while we're doing this video. So it would help if you already have some photos of an item, even if you're going to list it and delete it, but just have some photos in your phone so that way you can work along with me in this video. So I'm doing a series, Reselling 101, and this is the Poshmark Edition, the second part of the Poshmark Edition. So if you haven't seen the first video, I would like for you to go watch that. It's linked up above, and then we're going to get started on the second part of the episode, which is to actually set up our account. Before I just give you a brief introduction, let me put my phone back in the case because I'm prone to dropping stuff. And the reason I'm moving like this is I have a back massager behind me because my back is killing me. So we're multitasking here. Moms, we got to do it. Okay, so first of all, you want to set up your account. Now, if you are completely new to Poshmark, you've never had an account before, you can use my code 3QueensResell to sign up, and you're going to get a kickback and like something off your first order, and I'm going to get something as well. So before I continue any further, like a good teacher, I've created a checklist. So if you're driving or at work and you're not quite ready to set up your closet just yet, that's fine. I have a checklist and I'll link it down below. I created it on Canva, so I've never actually inserted a Canva link in my description. So if it doesn't work, leave me a comment and we'll figure it out. But I think I got it to work. But there is a checklist for you to go through, and you can refer back to the video. So let's get into it. I'm going to walk you through this using a phone, even though a lot of times I do use my desktop. I started on my phone for years and years and years, and I figure that's probably how most of us are going to start. So we're going to go to Google and Google Poshmark, and it's going to bring you to a screen that looks like this. I have an account, and so I would push login, but you're going to push sign up. It's going to ask you for like a code, like a reference code. I'd be honored if you'd use mine, Three Queens Resell, and then from there, you're in. It's going to have you create. Let's see if it lets me do it. Let's sign up. So you're going to sign in, and then, of course, I'm not going to show, but it's going to ask you for all your vital information. I'm not going to type mine in. Uh, and then it says have an invite code. That's where you would put my code. Once you're in and you've created an account, the first thing you want to do is add a bio pic because you named your closet. And when naming your closet, I'm Three Queens Resell. I came up with it on the fly, and I've kept with it because the whole point. It was supposed to be something I did with my girls, but they're not that into it. So, but it is representative of me. But I see all kinds of creative names. Make sure it's like classy and not inappropriate or fun or whimsical, but something that represents you and is actually easy for people to type. If I got to do a lot of shift locking and stuff to type your closet name, I'm probably not going to search for you. Um, Add that bio pic. I started off with a picture of myself. On some accounts, I have a picture of myself, and some accounts on eBay and Depop, it's just a general three queens picture. I don't really think it matters, but you are going to start getting like messages and followers right away from people who like to follow new closets. So, since you're going to start getting traffic right away, you want to take advantage of that boost by getting some listings done. But first, before you do that, you're going to write a short, friendly bio about yourself. And if you want to set your location and time zone, you can. I do recommend that because sometimes people will message and, or, yeah, they'll message, but they're in a different time zone. But it's like, for instance, it might be 10 p.m. in LA, but I'm in bed here in central Indiana at that time. Then also turn on make an offer and bundle discount options. Since you're just starting out, if you want to hold off on bundle discounts, wait until you get maybe like 20 items. I would suggest that, but definitely you want to have make an offer notifications on so that the people can make offers, and then when they do, you're notified so you can respond quickly. So that's all the account setup steps. Next, we're going to move to closet organization. So you're going to need to choose a consistent background for your photos. Now, while we have a fancy light system right now, it literally started off with me with a roll of white, just white paper, poster board paper. You can get it at Walmart, the teacher store, anywhere they sell school supplies. Um, on a thumbtack. So that's all you need. If you already have a white wall or a gray wall, whatever, just pick a spot. Hopefully, it has good natural lighting so that you do. It will need to have good natural lighting so that you don't have to invest in a lighting kit to start. So you're going to, and that goes along with my next step, gathering your basic tools, your tape measure, lint rollers, light ring, poly mailers. You can get free poly mailers, from Poshmark, for Poshmark from USPS, and I'll put that link down in the bio below. Zero cost. Don't take a lot to start off with, just a small variety of each. And then you're going to get your photo spot ready, your rack ready, and get ready to start photographing. So, the part that you guys have all been waiting for, and like I said, up above in my pinned video is me walking you through creating a listing in a previous video. The steps have not changed, so you can watch that video, but I am going to do it here as well. So, listing essentials, we want to start with a good, clear picture of the item. Now, I'm going to show you my photo wall that I have in the office that I use to take pictures. So, behind me, there is a hook on the wall, and on that wall is where I take pictures for things for Whatnot and Posh shows. So it can be that simple, a command hook on a clear wall, and I use the natural lighting from my window, and that's all. So that's what you're going to start with. You want to start with clear photos, and I take my photos on my iPhone. My husband uses his whatever Samsung. He does not have an iPhone. And we just take the pictures, and you can write a description. Now, let me show you guys. So I'm going to walk you through creating a listing on Poshmark. There are two ways. There's the Smart AI, which we're going to start with. So when you click on the listing, you're going to pick Smart AI, go to your camera roll, and pick out the photos. Once you've selected the photos from your camera roll, you're going to push submit, and then it's going to create a listing, and you'll see it working, and it creates a listing based on the photos. Of course, you need to read this and make additions, and then you're going to go down to the bottom and add all the specifics. This is much easier than when I first started on Poshmark 7 years ago. So take advantage of technology. Then you're going to put a listing price. And of course, I did it backwards. I put the original, then because it's reversed. Like I said, I haven't done this in a while. And then go in and put the sizing. Now, for some reason on kids' items, it has one size, but I do have the correct size in the listing. And once I have the item listed, I can go back and edit, make any corrections I want as well. So this is me like delayed trying to figure this out since I haven't used this on kids' clothes in a minute. So once you get all of those item specifics in there, new with tags, any style keywords, I was going to put in Halloween, but since Halloween is not a natural word that people search for, I decided not to. And then you are going to generate the listing. And I went in and I added the size of the listing because it's not in the title, and I like to have the size in the title of my listings. Now AI is working to generate the listing, and it takes me to this page. We have Smart Sell on. I think this is in beta, so it might not be available to you, but if it is, go ahead and turn it on. And then it says, great job. I've got a listing up and I have a 34-day listing streak. So we're going to go through my closet and then go to my just in, and we see the listing. And it is as easy as that. I could have done it a lot quicker, but I'm talking you guys all through it as well. So with the use of the Smart AI listing, there's no reason that you can't quickly get 3 listings up or whatever your weekly goal of listings are. So my suggestion to you is to take all of your photographs first. That way they're all in your camera and you can just sit down when you have time and create the listings. Like I said, I like to go back into my listings and add things like measurements, and other hashtags, item specifics, but let's not be perfection, let perfection be the enemy of complete. We want to get some listings up so that you can get some practice doing the other steps like sharing and making sales. So just in case you do not have the Smart AI on your device, I'm not sure if it's available to every Poshmark person. So every user, I'm going to show you the classic way as well. So you're going to enter the same way. And like I said, I don't do this all the time, but you're going to click classic and then same thing, go to your camera roll, select your photos. I'm going to do this infant carrier hot dog costume. And I'm going to select my photos, and I've only got one photo, so that's what we're going to use. And even this way, it generates an AI description, so that's amazing. So if you don't have the Smart List AI, it's still going to generate a working title for you anyway. I'm going in and editing my title with condition and size because it doesn't automatically put those items in there, and just some other detail words like infant and the fact that this is a carrier costume, and then it will also help me generate a description, it looks like. So down here in the description, it created a working description. That's where I would create my put my measurements, and then you have to manually go in and pick the category here. So I picked costumes, Halloween, and the sizing thing on kids is different. There's been an update. I don't like that, but we'll go with it. Then, is it new with tags? Yes. I might have picked no, but it is. New with tags as I'm watching the video back. And then I'm setting my pricing. And we'll talk more about comps in another video. I don't want to get too hung up on different particulars right now, just the basics. And then for some reason it said that this is a prohibited item. It is not, so I certified that it's not by clicking on the certification program button. Now that you know how to use the IA to create listings, and I do recommend that you go ahead and zhuzh up your listings a little bit more. The AI description is a good base, but adding in measurements and other item specifics that the AI does not pick up is only going to help benefit your listing and get it out the door quicker. We'll also cover looking up comps in a later video. Next section we're going to talk about is closet boosting habits. So you need to share your listings daily. That's why I do not pay to promote my closet. I did it as a trial just to see if it would work. And friends, I was losing money. I was not making any more money than I would have otherwise. So I share my closet using lists perfectly, but since you're just starting out, you can do it manually just by going on your phone a few times a day and sharing your listings. I would say when you get to 50 or more, that is when you might want to start thinking about a service that is going to share them for you, because sharing 2 to 3 times a day is time consuming. Um, and I did notice that I started to grow exponentially when I started using a bot to share. Make sure you follow other closets and you respond quickly to comments and offers. Those things will help boost your closet and just kind of keep your closet in good standing, because yeah, if you don't respond to comments, there is a pair of Louis Vuitton slides that have been listed for 3 years, and the chain of comments on it is enormous. Like obviously the buyer is not on, the seller is not on Poshmark anymore, um, because they haven't responded. So you don't want to be that person. If you ever decide that you don't want to do Poshmark, take your listings down so people don't make offers on them or ask questions about them. Shipping and customer service. So we're going to keep those UPS shipping supplies handy. Like I said, they are free, and I have put a link below. You can also stop by your local post office and grab a few. You don't need the cute, fun poly mailers for Poshmark. You can just simply use the free items. And since we're just starting out, no need to spend money on things that you don't need to. Uh, no need to spend money on anything because we're sourcing from our closet. Ship within 1 to 2 days after your sale. I ship next day every day except for on Sundays, and aim for 5-star ratings and great service. So now that you've got the basics, you've got the checklist, it's all you got to do is just do it. So get your phone out, put that thumbtack on the wall, put those clothes on a hanger, and start photographing. Make sure when you're photographing, you get 6 to 8 excellent photos, including the front, back, and the tags. Okay? And other tips going out the door: price your items competitively. Poshmark is giving you a little range. Um, I would go a little higher than that just because live show sales can distort that and bring that down. But also, what do you got to lose? You can always take offers and give it a go. We're going just play around with it. We're going to go over how to look up comps. There's several different ways, but I don't want you to get bogged down by that because too much information will keep you from getting started, and it is literally as easy as just getting your phone out, taking photos of those items, and getting them listed. So let me know how you do. Let me know when you get your first sale, and hang on, part 3 is coming. Okay, PFFs, you have everything you need to know to get started and get listing. If you forget, go ahead and check out that checklist I have linked in the description. And don't forget, you can pick up USPS free shipping supplies at your local post office, or use the link in the description to order them and have them sent straight to your house. It does take a little while to get them shipped to your house. It's not a quick process, so maybe stop by the post office to pick up some just to have on hand until you get that first shipment. Good luck, good luck, PFFs, and once again, part 3 is on the way.
Let me set the scene. We hustle hard, second green, living out the dream. From clothes and kicks, we